Hey everybody, how you doing? And welcome to This Xbox Life, episode 285. New games, new features. I am one of your hosts, Mark aka Wingman 709, and with me as always is my good buddy Rob,
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yo, 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 what up, what up?
also known as Who on the Xbox Lives.
Prisar.
And also with us as always now is one of our usuals is Mr. Brun.
Yep. Also, BJ Slick 33.
So I'm taking you heard the music, Brun?
Yes, I did.
It was weird. It was choppy on my side, which is weird
Yes,
because
same here.
I'm like,
Mm.
why is it choppy? That I'm hearing it like not through the stream, so I don't know what's going on. We might be in for another fun-filled, tech-filled show.
Yay.
Gosh, I hope not. Let's get through this. But
Boy.
I don't know. It was really weird. It was chopping out on my side as it was playing. So I'm like, that's a little odd. That's never happened. But anyways, we will run with it and see what happens. So again, we are your hosts of this Xbox Life podcast. You can check out our site at thisxboxlife.com, and you can also support us by doing all your shopping at thisxboxlife.com/Amazon, and that is our affiliate page. It will take you directly to the official Amazon website and our affiliate page. Also, you want to do that, excuse me, because you get a chance to win money when you go there and use our affiliate page. We gain a small little fee, if you will, from Amazon. They kind of give us a bonus for directing people to shop with them, and with that, we get when we get enough money, we give it back to you guys. So right now, we're giving away $10 gift cards each week for Xbox, and this week's winner.
He's all choked up. I get again.
Man, I've had a good week. The cough has been pretty much gone. Today, even all day, I was like starting to cough again. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! It was finally gone, but so I just probably need to drink some more of my beverage here. But this week's winner is Hambone. He gave us the correct answer of Two Human, one of the best games on the 360. Awesome. I liked it. I really enjoyed that game. But Hambone, I will be sending you your code via Xbox Live here in just a few minutes. So thank you for trying out for the contest. Folks, we got 1 week left. 1 week left. Next week will be our last $10 gift card. And it'll be till we do the next one, which, it's up to you guys. You guys got to keep buying for us to get some of that income to give back to you. So keep on purchasing from Amazon. A lot of you guys are doing it. We really appreciate it. Again, it's just going to go right back to you guys. So keep on doing what you're doing. Appreciate it. So to get into next week's contest, in the community section, we will show another box art of an Xbox game. Go to our website, enter the contest tab, and put in your gamer tag and your guess as to what you think the game is. Shouldn't be too hard since we show it to you. Um,
You just have to read it and retype it.
that could be tough, I suppose. And if you're listening to audio going, well, I don't get to see it, just check out our Twitch or YouTube replays. You can even fast forward just the community section and see what it is and type it in. So, all
And
right.
I'd also like to just throw in, compared to a lot of contests that you probably enter in daily or whatever, your odds are pretty darn good with with this Xbox Live's contests. It's not like some of those things, like let's say on Facebook, where there's millions of entries. Here, your odds are pretty good. So
Yeah,
it
this
would,
this week, yeah, it was really good this past week. This was
yeah,
the lowest number of entries I've seen. I'm like, either people don't want $10, or I don't know. Maybe it's just not. Maybe it's not good enough. But I'm like, it's still free $10. It,
yeah,
it, it takes it takes maybe a minute to fill out the form, and you have a really good chance of winning. So I was kind of surprised that the numbers this week we had very few entries. So, but there's only one more chance. And other things we're gonna do as you guys continue to shop through Amazon. We're hoping to give out bigger and better gifts. This first time we just did $10 so we could stretch it out to more people. So, but we do plan in the future to have bigger giveaways. So, but that's all up to you guys. So let's keep moving on. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. So, oh man, I gotta ask you guys, Rob, did
Yeah.
you live the life this week?
Live the life?
Did
No,
you live the life? You didn't live the life? Well,
no.
before you go, I had to throw this up because I was going to put this up last week, and those that are watching Twitch can see it. You know, we always like these graphics comparisons and side by side. So I did a lot of work, and I was able to get a graphical comparison between the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 of Titanfall, and you can see that now on your image. So
Okay.
enjoy that. You can see, you know, this will give the community a chance to kind of nitpick and, you know, kind of do, you know, say, oh well, you know, what the difference is. Do they really see a difference between the two, you know, or you know, is it the same or whatnot? So enjoy that. Let us know what you guys think of that comparison, and you know, we'll be happy to hear from you.
Is the
And some-
PS4 is the PS4 side? I think that looks like it's 720p. I think I'm seeing
No,
scan lines.
that's 1080p. Believe it or not, that is a full 1080p on that right side.
There's something. There must be something wrong with the frame rate.
I don't know. In some parts of it, I thought the PS4 version of Titanfall was actually better.
Really? I saw it
No.
as pixelated. It looked very pixelated. Like I'm looking at one black pixel right now.
yeah, I think the
But it's
blackers
true
are black.
It's true
Yeah, it's
black.
That's what I mean. The blackers are black in the PS4 version of Titanfall than the Xbox One.
Exactly. So
You know, looking between the two, I don't see a black that's as black as the PS4's black in the Xbox One side.
yeah. So I guess that's that difference. We're running at what 920p and they're at 1080p. I guess that it shows. I guess it just shows that, you know.
Yes.
So anyway,
All those big mechs and those people and the buildings, they're all in the way of the black.
exactly.
Can you remove them?
I will. And while we talk about how we lived our life this week, I'm gonna play a video. Now I asked the community. And I didn't get any this week other than Carbide. But if you guys have some cool gameplay videos of any games, you know, I'm gonna say if you're playing a PC game or you're playing a PlayStation game, Xbox game, 360, Xbox One, whatever. If you're a gamer, you're in our community, you capture some really cool moment in video gaming. I don't care how you're recording it. If it's a video file, you know, if you've got it up on your YouTube, just send me the link. That's the easiest way for us to get it. If you've got it on OneDrive, you know, just send us the link, whatnot. I'll grab the video, and I'm gonna every week while we talk about what we're playing, I want to get videos from you guys that we can play while we're talking, so you guys can see your own game moments on the show. That's kind of what we want to do. So, if you guys have those, just send them to us. Like I said, I don't care if it's a PC game. We don't care. We're gamers here. We're not gonna kick it back because it's a PlayStation, a Wii, Nintendo, whatever. You got footage of something cool you did, you want to put it in the show, just send it to us. All right. And you can reach out to us through Xbox Live, or you know, hit me up. I'll be the one doing it. So you want to reach out to Wingman. But other than that, let's move on, and Rob can tell us how he didn't live the life.
Okay.
While we enjoy some footage from Carbide this week.
All right. So I played more Tomb Raider. I'm pretty close to being done with it. I'm just going back through and picking up all the stuff that I kind of skipped over while I was progressing with the storyline. And there's some parts that are, because I've never really gone through this far in a game where I've gone back to try to get everything, because I guess I didn't like any game as much as I like this one or something. Although I have plans to do the similar type of thing with Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, though. However, it's a big pain to get some of this stuff. I gotta tell you, you're missing it, so you're just wandering around the map trying to find it. So, but I'm sure everybody knows how that is, since everybody else seems to do it as well. Other than Tomb Raider, I played some Hearthstone, which is a pretty cool game on Battle.net. And then also, I finally got my Titanfall delivery, but I haven't had a chance to really do much gaming since it got delivered. So I'm looking forward to trying it out this week. That's it for me. How about you, Brun?
All right. Well, this week I got some Diablo 3 in. Sorry, I should say this weekend. Of course, still can't play Monday through Thursdays. I got some Diablo 3 in. Take advantage of that 100% experience boost. So I only really play one character because I got into Diablo 3 late in the game. But seeing that the 25th is when Reaper Souls opens up for good, I have to wait like 3 more days before I can play it. So just playing a little bit of that. And then also playing Hearthstone. Played probably a majority of that this weekend. So I don't know. Rob, since you've been playing it, and everybody who's out there, I'd recommend going out and trying this game. It's free.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's a card-based game. It's a PC game, of course, but I think they're going to be coming to iOS. I saw on GDC that some people are playing that on iOS. But just your normal card battle game. There's points in time where I just want to strangle
Yeah.
strangle the game because here I got this guy down to like 3 health, and there's a person walking behind me.
And then
it got
you just get annihilated.
Yeah, and I have like 15 left, and they're down to 3, and they pull out like 5 cards and just completely annihilate me. And it's literally the 3 cards that they just drew. Or they would just draw a card, and then they'd throw something out and draw another card, and every time somebody would take damage, it would draw another card, and then it was like boom, 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 dead. And I was just like, I can't believe it. So, but the game's good. I really like it. It's really fun.
And compared to a lot of other games along the similar lines, like Magic, whatever year,
Yeah.
it's done really, really well. The animations are awesome, and I really like how you apply the cards. You can like drag either up onto the opponent or something. The interface is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's simple. They don't try to make it too confusing. They don't try to use the whole tapping mana, get mana back. It's like you get 1 crystal, and then you get another crystal for each round, up to 10 crystals. So after 10 rounds, you'll get 10 crystals every single time. And each card just has a number on it. It's like, this is how many crystals it takes to play this card. And then the other 2 numbers is like, this is how much health, this is how much damage. That's it. Like, there are special cases to certain cards. And after you play them for a while, you get used to it. But there's like, 9 different characters? Is there 9?
Something
I think
like
there's... Yeah, I think there's 9. I don't know. I haven't played them all. But that's what I did a majority of the time. Oh, I finally had an Xbox One in my house. So my oldest, who was the one that was walking behind me.
Had?
Yeah, so he had his friend stay over last night, and his friend brought over his Xbox One, and of course he needed to hook it to my wireless internet, so I actually got to hold the controller. But the only thing I got to do on the Xbox One was type in my password. So he said I could play it, but I never really got down there to play it. They were playing Titanfall for a majority of the time. So, but I will say that I've seen the box up close, like at Walmart or whatever. When you see it in its little case, it does seem pretty big. I mean, but nothing that I've heard people talk about, like how humongous it is. Like you need a crane to lift it into your room or something like that. But it doesn't seem that big at all. And the Kinect is a little bigger than what the original Kinect was. But I like that I like how it's the block. It's all flush. It doesn't have those curved lines and everything like the Kinect has now, which kind of makes it tip over or anything like that. So, but yeah. So that was my other thing. I had it. But,
wow. If you like Hearthstone, you might want to check out SolForge. It's SOL Forge. It's on Steam.
Okay.
It's also pretty awesome.
Oh, all right.
Similar type of thing.
What's Blizzard's MOBA, like Dota 2? They have like one that's in beta testing now.
I don't know.
Oh, I'd have to check it out, but I signed up for that beta as well, but never got anything to it yet. unfortunately, busy week. I know this week is going to be super busy. I don't know come Sunday if I'll have any games under my belt. Have my final test for my MCSD, whatever the
Oh
certification.
wow.
So last test for that. So we'll see how that goes. But
That's
Mark?
the developer one, right?
yeah, focusing in
Yeah.
web development. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring it back to me. Let's get it back to Xbox.
Okay. Sorry, everybody.
It's okay. We're gamers, but we definitely don't want to stray too long off of off the Xbox topic, I think. But
Yep.
so I played this week. I did live the life. I played Titanfall. I am a Generation 2 pilot now, which means I've basically prestiged. And I think I'm up to I think 37 now. On my way up to my Generation 3. So I'm getting there. Been playing a lot of that. I did take some time off of Titanfall this week. I played some Dead Rising 3 as the 4th DLC pack came out. This is the last one for the season pass. I don't know if they're going to bring any more out. I haven't heard of anything. I went through and played through it. This was a little frustrating this week, guys. This was the first time I got really frustrated with this game. I went all the way through it, and I had one achievement glitch on me where there was this one, it's a kind of a collectible thing, but you got to go around and burn these piles of bodies, and there's like 40 of them. I got to 36, and the last 4 never appeared. They appear on your map. As you're walking around, you can see the dots. So you can get to the area, and then you got to find them. That's kind of the way the collectibles work in the game. So it's not really hard to find the stuff. They just disappeared. It went to 36 and stopped. Did some searching around. Saw lots of other people had the same problem. I tried a new game. I tried all these different things. I reboot the Xbox, unplugged it, went back. Figured let me restart it. Nope, nothing worked. So all the hours I had in this game, I was sitting at 99%, missing one achievement. What I had to do to get it was I had to delete my save file, play the game as a level 1, which means you have not the vast inventory or the health or anything. I had to start and play through that again, get to where I could get all those, and then go try to find all those piles again. And this time it worked. Once I got the achievement, and I was playing it offline, and here's the scary part. I got all of them. I got all 40. I was offline. But I'm like, I should still pop the achievement. The achievement did not pop. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I logged in. And this was about probably 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes after I actually got the last pile. All of a sudden, the achievement went boop. After I logged in.
A little delayed.
So it was a little bit delayed, yep. So then what I had to do was, once I got that, I quit out. And then I had to quit the game, relaunch the game, and then it told me that my save file was out of sync. So, because there's one in the cloud, which I love. This was so great because it saved me, right? It allowed me to get this last achievement because they had a game save in the cloud. So I said sync with the cloud, overwrite the local one. So I got I got my level 50 and everything, all my stats that I had back. The only thing I lost was the zombies that I slayed during that time frame of trying to get those 40, get that one achievement. But I didn't really care. I was just going for that. So. And I've got like 400,000 zombies killed anyways. I didn't care about another 1,000. But I did get it, so I was like, whoo, man, I was going to be so ticked off. I was stuck at 99%. So if anyone's having a problem with that, that's your answer. That's what you have to do. It wasn't
But make
fun.
sure you overwrite with the one in the cloud, not the one on your machine, or
Yes.
or else you will lose it.
Yeah, go and read the directions. If you got the true achievements, and look the game up. There's a walk. A guy tells you exactly what to do, and follow that, and you can get it. So it's a little bit of a pain, but that's what I played. So Dead Rising 3 is finally 100%. So now I can go back to Titanfall.
Cool. And yeah, and I did congratulate you on Facebook for that, which then started a discussion, I think, between Democulus and myself about how you guys were battling it out for most gamer score and things like that.
Oh, we did that a long time ago.
Right.
Back when I used to do all that boosting and playing all the garbage games, and I was kind of into that score. I mean, that's why I'm at, what am I, 100? I don't even know what my gamer score is anymore. I mean, I don't even care. I don't even keep track, but I think I'm at 170,000 range. Because I know at one point I hit was it 107? Or is it 170? But it was like 1709. It was like 170,900. So the number 709 was in there. I was like,
No.
hey, look at that. It was.
You were at 172,130.
Yeah, see, people could ask me, and I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I think I'm at 170 somewhere. So I just don't follow it anymore. But but anyways, yeah, that's what I did this week. So it was fun. I love Titanfall. Despite what those in the party might think, I still love the game. I just been playing too much of it, so getting a little frustrated at times. In fact, it was pretty sad. I was getting really ticked off one game, and at the end of it, I was the number one guy. I was the number one player on our team. I had twice as many kills as I had deaths, but I was still getting frustrated. But it was like we're playing like capture the flag, and it's just like, oh, I hate that mode. We just can't seem to win in that mode.
Yeah, I've done that two or three times, I think, in Battlefield, just wanting to, punch my screen or, just yelling up a storm, and then the round's over, and it's like, oh, that's number 2. It's like,
well, yeah, and a lot of my frustration has been that when you regenerate, like in Call of Duty, you can just keep prestiging, but here, once you do your first regen, to do it again, you have to do regen challenges. So I had to go and play out like the first 32 levels with a shotgun, and I was just getting frustrated because I don't like playing with a shotgun. I never play with a shotty, but I was forced to this time, and I wanted to knock these things out. So I got all that done, and now I can play with the gun I want to play with, but I'm still having to play with a specific Titan because I got to do Titan challenges if I want to go to Gen 3. So I was like, let me knock them out early, and it took me more than half of my time so that was frustrating, but the game is so much fun. But anyways, yeah, good stuff. So let's go ahead and hit our topics. We got a bunch of stuff this week, so let's hit it.
You're not kidding.
A couple, 2-3 things. A quick update on last week. I think it was last week we talked about the headphones quite a bit. So a little update on the Melee headsets, and actually I guess this also includes the 4Shots. There's an audio quality issue for chatting, I guess, where volume is kind of low. So Polk is actually sending people out. If you register your headset, they're sending out a new cable for your headset that includes a new microphone. So the microphone actually comes out of the cable. So they did that as an intermediate fix until they work with Microsoft to fix whatever is wrong on the Microsoft side for these microphones. And I contacted Polk. They've confirmed also that the Melee users that got the Xbox One adapter, they're also going to get this little adapter. You don't have to do anything. They're just going to send it out. So that's some phenomenal customer service right there. Double thumbs up to those guys. Cool. So, end of updates. All right, we ready to get on with the stories?
Yep.
Yeah, all right, let's do this. Okay, next month, well, a little bit after a month because it's still March over here, but in May, Watch Dogs is going to be released, and we've got a little bit more information on how this game is going to run, etc., including how long the game's going to be. The game's creative director has informed everybody that the game is going to be 35 to 40 hours to complete. That's a fair amount of time for games, considering that there's a lot of games that take a lot less than that.
Yeah, that's a good bit of time. 40 hours is, with me, always finishing every game I play. Oof. Um, 40 hours sometimes is even just too long.
I wonder if this is like to get like everything done. Let's
Probably.
do all side missions and who knows what else in there. I would imagine you can probably complete the game quicker, but you just don't. You're not going to 1,000 it.
Well, if the game's good, and it keeps you hooked, 40 hours is definitely worth the $60.
And it can go quick for some people.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that might be what, probably 5 or 6 sleepless nights, and people can knock it out. So Watch Dogs coming out in May. You can spend a full work week to complete it.
Work's overrated, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Work helps you buy stuff.
Oh, that's true. So maybe it's not so overrated.
Yep.
All right, Brian.
All right. So, Wing, you mentioned that you're trying to hit Generation 3.
Working my way there.
Working your way there. So, now, everybody knows the wonderful Titanfall player that I am. That 4 days is nothing. I could have this guy beat. But in under 4 days, a Titanfall player has hit the max level. So, if I'm not mistaken, this is Generation 10.
Correct.
Okay, so a Reddit user down to clown, and that's DOWNTUCLOWN, claims he hit Generation 10 in Titanfall within the 4 days. So, how many levels are before you hit a generation? I want to call it prestiging because that's how I translate it. But now, how many levels is it until you hit a generation?
Sorry, 50.
50. Okay, so every 50 you have the option to move up a generation, or like you said, sometimes you have to complete challenges before you can do it.
Yeah, you just have to get the challenges become unlocked. As soon as you gen up, they're available. So you can knock them out right away. But if you get to level 50 and you haven't done them, yes, you're going to have to complete those before you can go to the next level. And every time you go up, they change. So there's going to be different. Like, I'm sure one of these means you got to kill 500 people with a sniper rifle or some stupid thing like that. So that's where I'll end up quitting. I'll never do that.
So this player here, he goes on and they ask a number of questions because obviously when you hear somebody hits max level and under 4 days, which, there's always these people that do that. I think Call of Duty even has somebody, it's like, hitting Prestige 10 in a couple of days. He wasn't going anything for like stats or anything like that. So his stats aren't bad, he states, but he strictly played to progress quickly, rather than worry about his stats. So how many hours do you say you have in it, Mark?
I got a lot. I don't know how to tell. I don't know.
Oh.
That's a good question. I don't.
How tired are you?
I'm tired. My
So
first
that's a lot
week,
of hours.
I was sick that first week it came out, so I got to play it only like 2 days in the first week. I've got a lot of hours in it, but I don't think it's anything crazy, But 4 days was that? That had to be 4 actual solid days, then, right? It was.
I would
Just like
assume
8 hours one day, 6 hours. It had to be. There's no way. I've got to have. I don't know, 30 hours.
Yeah, it doesn't really
I'm only like a
say
Gen 2.
here.
I still think it's. I think he cheated. There had to be. Was he on the PC? Right? He was a PC gamer, wasn't he?
I don't think it states on that here either.
Because there are. They've already reported there's known cheats and stuff going on the PC side. So, there had to be some kind of boosting, glitching, cheating, something to go on. I think to get through all of that in such a short amount of time. Did one guy just sit here for 4 solid days and keep playing?
I would assume when it says just under 4 days, I think it's 24 hours times 4. You know, so
And I just got to say this. Shut up, Jesus Walks a Lot. You're a liar. That's based on the chat window.
I'm just
He's a
looking
liar.
down, reading it. I'm like, well, I mean, here it says, the player had over half the game time was spent in attrition, and 2/3 of the time he was playing as a pilot. So it didn't seem like was spending too much time in the Titan. But the Vince Zampella, he seemed to be, in this article, he seems to be convinced because he congratulated him on Twitter, but he could have been congratulating him on Twitter as they were scanning through hacks and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but I mean, the overall story is, somebody was crazy enough to hit max level under 4 days. Now, my thing is what do you do from there?
I don't know. I don't know why you'd want to burn
I don't-
through it all so quick.
Me either, and that's the thing that kind of gets me. It's like I've never been a speed gamer, obviously, but it's like even in Battlefield, I forget what, I think I'm a level 80 or something like that, and I didn't rush to hit 110, which is now whatever they upped the level 2 now. But it's like I just have no need to rush to it, because who wants to beat it all in the first 4 days, and then you have nothing to do. So, I mean, and I'm pretty sure Titanfall, I don't know if it's going to be a yearly game or not. I mean, it could be a 2-year span between Titanfall and Titanfall 2. So, this guy's beat it and done everything he can. Well, I don't want to say done everything he can. I guess at least until they up the level and bring out DLC, but he's pretty much stuck at where he's in until then.
Yeah, I still think it's somehow they had to cheat. That just seems way too quick.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
oh well.
Hey, you have some news about a pretty spectacular game that I know you love dearly.
Oh my goodness. I don't even.
This
know
is
what to
bad
do here.
news for you, right?
This is bad news. It was announced in GDC this last week that Zen Studios was happy to announce that Kickbeat Special Edition, Castle Storm Definitive Edition, and Pinball FX2 is coming to Xbox One.
And you get to buy all the tables again.
It's like you're gonna rebuy the White Album again.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to buy this thing again. I know it.
No,
I love Pinball FX2. It's so much fun. I think I have bought every table on the 360 version. I didn't play much on the last tables, the Star Wars ones they released, just because the Xbox One is out now. But yeah, I will probably buy this game again and play it again and have it on my Xbox One.
Probably.
It'll be the exact
Are you
same
kidding?
thing. It's not going to
Yeah.
be any better, I'm sure. They didn't state that that it's going to get any kind of improvement or anything. But I mean, the game's always looked so good, anyways. But
have they already ruled out that any of your purchases will transfer over?
nothing has been said. They're just saying it's coming.
Okay. Because
I mean-
they did that. They did that before. They allowed you to transfer from Pinball FX to Pinball FX2.
Yeah, but
think
don't
they allowed
they're
you to
gonna
do
that
some of it.
this. Because this is a new platform. I really would be surprised. They're not just going to give it to me for free or anything else. But
Well,
Yeah.
like Castle Storm is definitive edition, so they might consider that a new version. You know what I'm saying? Kind of
yeah,
like how Tomb Raider came out.
right. So we'll have to see. You know what? I should reach out to what's his name? I think his name was Max, who we've had on our show before.
Mhm.
I should ask him if he'll come on and talk about this. He probably would.
Yeah, they've always been really good to the show because they would usually give out codes and stuff, for you to give out
Yeah.
for tables and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
Zen Studios has always been very pleasant to work with. They're very nice over there.
yeah, Jesus has a good comment for you again. He says,
Oh, whatever.
"You are the reason. You are the reason they were releasing it on Xbox One."
Could
They're
be.
like, if we release it on Xbox One, we know one guy will buy everything.
Yeah.
So,
You should just get him to like auto draft from your account. Like one of those
As soon as it
direct
releases, just
direct withdrawal.
well, because they've sent us codes and stuff. They always send me codes for new tables. We didn't get one actually for the last. We may have been dropped off their list because we didn't get one for the Star Wars table. But I mean, I've always given them away, and I just have bought the tables. I always give them up to the community. But yeah, I like the game. It's a lot of fun. So if you're into Pinball FX 2, you're gonna keep your game on in the Xbox One here in the coming months. So all they said was they're bringing them in the coming months. Those 3 games. So could be by the summer. All 3 of those. I would say by the end of summer, we'll have all 3 of those games available. So there you go.
Cool.
Get ready.
Okay, while you're waiting for Pinball FX to come out, you can be playing Plants vs. Zombies. They've actually, when was this? Last Tuesday, I think it was. Yeah, Tuesday the 18th, they released a DLC pack, Garden Variety, or the Garden Variety pack. This includes a new Gnome Bomb game mode, new Chomp Town map, a lot of new abilities, and new character customization items. And I believe this was free, wasn't it?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Is that timed free or always free?
Good question. I think it's
Yeah.
I think this one is a freebie. Oh, I think this was a game update type of thing. So I believe this isn't always going to be free
Okay.
because there was some adjustments made to the game as well with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as part of that DLC, they also broke a couple of things.
Couple two
And a couple two tree things. So on Friday, the 21st, there was a patch that was released. You give people a couple. Okay, so let's follow this chronology of PopCap and this game. Layoffs last week, so they dumped a bunch of people. They put out a DLC pack that broke things on Tuesday, and then they fixed things on Friday. So they've been hitting the news.
Well,
It's just like
since they're owned by EA, they're doing the EA model, which is deploy DLC or a patch and break half the game. So
Yeah.
that seems to be the Battlefield model that EA is releasing. So maybe they're just moving that model to other games and other
Yes.
companies. So, but
Anyway,
Fun,
that was
fun.
all.
all right.
Over to you, Brun.
No,
Okay.
Rob, you got a secondary story there. Beneath that,
Yeah, I already talked.
you talked. Oh, sorry, then I missed it. About the fix?
The fix is coming soon.
Okay.
The DLC fix that came out on Friday. No worries.
All right.
You're
I
up,
guess
bud.
I should pay attention.
Hello, Brun. Did you mute Brun?
No, did you? Oh, you guys can hear me, right? What?
Sure.
Okay. Dungeon Defenders. So everybody's still Xbox Live Gold, and everybody's out there buying not buying, but downloading the 2 free games. On the 15th, Dungeon Defenders came online and is free. So make sure you jump out there and get that before a week from Monday, because that'll be the last day it is available. So, but did you guys pick it up?
I queued it up.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to turn my 360 on so I can download it.
That's what I have to do too. I queued it up, but I haven't downloaded it yet. So
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean-
you gotta download it. I think you gotta get that turned on and started. I believe. I don't know. Maybe as long as you've queued it up, they
'cause
they know you've already purchased it. So yeah, you should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you go, I always go through the marketplace online,
me too.
and there is a purchase procedure that you go through. It shows your payments type, the credit card that you use or whatnot, with the price free. So you have to step through that.
And obviously, we already went through what games we played, so I know you guys didn't get to play it. So,
Correct.
but
I didn't
that's it
touch
for that.
I didn't touch
Yeah.
it because our Facebook community blew up over this game, which let me just, I guess, gives me a good opportunity to bring up that we have now pinned some rules of the community. So remember, we don't work for Microsoft, we don't work for EA, we don't work for any development. We do this as a hobby. So if you're angry at a game or Microsoft or EA or PopCap or anybody, you might want to take it to their forums. And you might want to maybe not be so verbally abusive because they're going to ban you and ignore you. And if you do that in our forums, and I didn't take any action on anybody. I was playing Titanfall, and Jesus Walks a Lot got on and said, "Hey, hey Mark, you might want to check out what's going up on the Facebook group." Well, I saw just a bunch of foul language, so I didn't even bother reading everybody responding and all the fighting going on. I just deleted the thread, and I didn't take any action on anyone this time. But if that happens in the future, we're just gonna kick you out. Period. And that goes for everybody. I don't care if you've been, if it was Jesus himself, who's Jesus Walks a Lot himself, not our Lord and Savior. I would kick him out. But if Jesus Walks a Lot,
Wait,
he's
you can't have somebody
someone
be
I play with
exempt.
all the time, and he's a good guy. But if he gets in there one day and he's on a bad mood, and he just goes on a rant, I'm gonna punt him because it is a family show. We keep the site clean. That goes away when you get into a party in a game with me. Okay, that family tag goes away. So, no, it needs to stay. We don't want people fighting. We try to keep it adult, and you can post stuff about PlayStation if you want. You can say, hey, this game's great. People did it this week about what's the name of that game? The new one that just came out, Infamous. Okay, someone posted a screenshot. That's cool. I don't have a problem with that. We're all gamers. You like something you want to share with other gamers. That's no big deal. Yes, we are an Xbox community, but we all play other stuff. So, as long as the Xbox is first and foremost in the front of our conversations and doesn't get buried under everything else, that's fine. You want to share something cool about something else, that's cool. Keep everything clean, people. Again, I didn't take any action or kick anybody out. I just deleted the thread. So, anybody that was in that chain, you're still welcome to comment and be a part of the community. But if you're upset over a game or something, take it to them. Take your frustration to the developers or to the publisher or to Microsoft. Take it to the appropriate party. We're not the appropriate party. If you are upset, you can vent, and it's great because what I did get out of that was, okay, I need to stay away from it. But what I would have liked to see is the person come on and say, hey guys, I am really upset. Here's what happened. Just you might want to stay away from the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare till they fix it. And that's what I've done. I haven't touched that game until I'll definitely go back to it now that I know they fixed it because the game is awesome. And I understand why he was frustrated. I get it. He lost everything. I'd be frustrated too, but just please take that to the appropriate forum for the anger, if you will, because all it did was people are going to stick up for the community, saying, hey, this is a clean community and stuff. So let's and then it got everybody riled up. So let's not do that. But that's all I'm going to say about it. But no one got kicked or anything. We're all still a big happy family. Other than that, let's move on to the next story, which is back to Titanfall. And hopefully you guys don't get... Oops, I missed the Dungeon Defender image. Boy, I'm slacking. I was way back still on the Pinball FX2 image or the Plants vs.
Great.
Zombies.
Skip
Okay,
my story.
I did. I completely... yeah, whatever. But anyways, sorry for all the Titanfall news. It's going to dissipate over time here, but... This was pretty cool. Titanfall, when it came out, Xbox One console sales doubled that week in the UK. They said one week-on-week sales jumped by 96% alongside the arrival of Titanfall. So that's really cool. I'm glad to see the Xbox One get a bump. We, that's just good news. Another good thing is if you don't yet have one, you might want to check. I think it's Walmart has dropped this bundle price by $50. So
Amazon.
you can get the Xbox One with Titanfall for like $450. So
Nate.
I mean that's a fantastic. That's $110 off the price of buying them. Last week. I mean I know the game's bundled in now. You can get it, so but still, the console sells 500 plus $60 for the game. You can get both of those for 450. That's a heck of a deal. So, might want to jump on that. And Brun, did you say Amazon has got that price too?
Well, I was looking. I saw a story. I think before we started that a couple other companies have followed suit on that and did the same thing, but it might have just been the Xbox One console without Titanfall. Because I'm looking now on the Xbox One console Titanfall bundle still for $99 on Amazon.
All right, I'll have to check. I'll double check because I thought Walmart was selling the Titanfall bundle for $50 less.
Yeah.
So I'll look
that
it
is
up right now.
true. They were.
Okay. And I think you could get Forza as well if you wanted. So, because here it is right here. It shows the price is shown in the cart. They've got the $499.96 crossed out. So there it is. I think there you could get Forza or Titanfall for the $50 price cut. So, yeah, and there it is. The Titanfall console bundle is out of stock online, but yeah, they cut the price $50. So, if you guys are in the market and you haven't gotten one, that might be a really good time to pick one up.
Right on.
So, all right. Next.
Okay.
Let me switch the picture. Bam. There you go.
Right on. Okay, GDC happened recently, and there was a discussion by the narrative lead of Riot Games, or the guys that do League of Legends on PC, and then also Microsoft Game Studios design lead Richard Rouse III, where they discussed basically how far people kind of get into games. And they've got some statistics that they pulled off of Steam in particular. So I would imagine this would probably extend across a lot of other platforms and at least be close when you're considering things like Xbox and so forth. So they went through and they counted the achievements for various people to see how far along in games that they got. And here's what they came up with. So, for example, The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 1, it looks like people got about 66% of the way through the game. And that's, maybe it was too scary for them. That's why they stopped. Yeah, let's go with that one. So the majority of people only actually didn't even finish it. They got a little bit over halfway through the story, and they never got to figure out what was going on with Clementine. They just don't understand that game. Then Mass Effect 2, 56% is as far as people got. BioShock Infinite, 53%. Batman Arkham City, 47%. Portal, again, 47%. Mass Effect 3, 42%. That's less than Mass Effect 2. Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 5. It's weird that it would go from Episode 1 to Episode 5. But that one is only 39%. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, 32%. And Borderlands 2 is only 30% of the way through.
Slackers.
So, yeah, that's really strange.
I'm in that 30 percentile, buddy.
And
I'm
not
in the
in
Mass
Borderlands.
Effect 2, Mass Effect 3s. I'm in the BioShock Infinite, Portal. Every one of those games I finished, except for Elder Scrolls 5. I never played it. And I never... In Arkham City... Yeah, I did... Wait, Arkham City.
That was the
second
second
one,
one. Second
right?
one,
Yeah, I
right?
completed that one too. So, completed the storyline.
Yeah.
Didn't get all the achievements, but I completed the storyline.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's hard to imagine. Like even myself, I went through, played Mass Effect 1 all the way through, Mass Effect 2 all the way through, and then Mass Effect 3, I didn't finish.
Oh my goodness!
Nope,
Why
haven't finished
not?
it yet because I was. Oh my gosh, how far was I through that game? I forget how far I was, and then I restarted it and just got through like the second mission and stopped playing it, and then I forget why I got sidetracked.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
one
have
you gotta
never.
finish, man.
I know, and I really like I really like Mass Effect, so that's one that I've kept. I've never got rid of my games or anything like that, so I'll just have to get back to playing it. Maybe I'll have that on my games played list next week. We'll
There
see.
you go. Cool.
Sometimes for some of these games, there's that new hotness that comes in, and you kind of switch over to that, and you probably never go back. So that's probably some of that as well.
Yeah, there's just too many games. It's like back in the day, games weren't coming out as fast as they are right now, or they were so expensive that you could only afford to buy one or two. So you played those games all the way through, you beat them, and now it's just like game after. I mean, it's every week we're talking about 2-3 games. I mean, I know they're not the triple A releases, but even Garden Warfare, and I mean just Peggle 2 or is it Peggle 3?
2.
Peggle 2 coming out. It's just those games right there. They take you away, and then Titanfall comes out, and you stop playing those games. Like, when do you go back, or if you go back? But I can definitely see that as far as those percentages, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting to. I mean, The Walking Dead season 1, episode 1. I mean, it's such a short game. It seems like why would you start and never finish that one?
Too
But
scary.
we may have an answer to that later on. We got a question from our community specifically about this game, and maybe he's on to his question might reflect this right here for that. But yeah, it's interesting. That people would play. You had more people finish Mass Effect 2, but less. I mean, you'd almost expect those people to follow through Mass Effect 3, but even less finish that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then again, Mass Effect 3 came out on all the platforms, where Mass Effect 2 was just an Xbox game. So I don't know if that affects those numbers. It could be. You might have less for Mass Effect 3 because those people didn't play the first 2 games.
I think just the first one was Xbox exclusive. Because on the PS3, Mass Effect 2 had like a comic book beginning to help you pick your choices that you would have picked in the first game if Mass Effect 1 was on the PS3. So I think the first one might have been the only one. But besides the point. Sorry.
Yeah, and I'm shocked at only 30% for Borderlands 2. I'm blown away by that. That's such a fantastic game. But all right, interesting news, interesting stuff.
All right.
Brent?
Yep. Continuing with GDC talks, though, you actually mentioned Richard. Did you say Rouse? Is that how you said his name?
The third.
The third. He was speaking, and you guys are going to I'm going to butcher this guy's name too, with the Riot Games narrative lead, Tom
Hanks.
Abernathy. Anybody want to take a stab at that? Yeah, Abernathy. And they were actually, talking about, they had like a 25-minute long speech entitled "Death to the 3-Act Structure," and
That's the same one.
What?
That's the same one. That's the same discussion that I talked about, by the way.
It is?
Yep.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
this is different. This is a different story.
It's a
But
different
from the
story,
same
but
discussion.
yeah, same discussion. Sorry, yeah, because this one's actually Colin Moriarty on IGN actually wrote this because his thing is actually plot is highly overrated in games, says devs. So in this presentation, they're kind of talking about game narrative, touching on some of the finest examples in recent memory, which is like Uncharted 2, which I heard is a horrible game. Portal, Portal, which got like what, a 2 out of 10, and The Last of Us, never heard of it, and a small game called Fallout 3. Sarcasm. But they were talking about, extensive research has shown that the plot itself doesn't resonate with the majority of players. Characters, on the other hand, do. So, I remember listening to Colin talk about this on, I forget if he was on Podcast Beyond or if it was on Game Scoop. But what it was saying is like, people don't care about plot. They don't care about what happens in the game or anything like that, but they do care about the characters. So I don't care about what happened in Uncharted 2, but I do care about Drake. And and one thing that he was touching on was more like, well, don't those kind of go hand in hand? I mean, how can you care about Drake when you don't care about what he's doing or what's happening to him? You guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they were talking about it that way, and then he's coming back and saying it like, well, how is that possible? How can I care about, who was the girl in The Last of Us? I don't know her name because I never played it.
I don't either. I tried to play the game.
Yeah. But it's just like, those two that are going through a story, like what makes that game so good? It's like, oh, well, we love the characters, but the plot was horrible. No, well, I mean, how do you love those characters if you weren't interested in what's happening to them, the story that they're traveling through and moving on from there? So, I mean, Wing, you've when I said that Uncharted 2 was horrible, I know I was, I never played the game. I'm joking. But did you like you liked the game, right?
Oh, I love the Uncharted series.
Yeah.
It's
So I mean,
fantastic. It's a must-play series. The third one got a little boring. I kind of, but no, overall, this fantastic game.
so I mean, like with Drake or anything like that, like, do you look at the story in Uncharted 2 or in Uncharted 3? Would you care about Drake if he wasn't traveling or going through a narrative? Like if it was just
You know what? I kind of agree with the story because I think of games like Red Dead Redemption. John Marston was one of the coolest characters that stood out to me ever in a game. Couldn't really tell you what the story was about, but I remember him.
Right.
I would love to, obviously it's not going to happen, but for the spoiler alert, but it would be awesome to play as John Marston again. It was such an amazing character. I think things like Borderlands, Mad Moxie, was such, and it wasn't even someone you played, but her character was so amazing. And Tiny Tina, they just, and Claptrap, the characters stood out. The game and the story was, you just run around and you're killing stuff, and I mean the story really didn't matter. You're just blowing cool stuff up with cool weapons and big monsters, and I kind of agree with this. I don't think a lot of times that the story really does matter, and it kind of seems that way if you look at those numbers. Let me go back to that chart here. There's some very story-driven games: Mass Effect 2 and 3, and Walking Dead, BioShock. Elder Scrolls, those are very story-driven games, and people aren't finishing them. So, to me, that says kind of what they're saying is like people aren't as invested in the story itself. Because if you were, you'd follow through with it. And I mean, which surprises me. Even like Walking Dead, I think that one is very character-driven. It's not story-driven. You want to know what's happening to the characters. You want to know what's going on with them. But I guess, in a way, it's like, well, you have to have the story or the plot in that game does matter. But in like a Borderlands, I don't think it does. You're just drawn to the characters. Same with Master Chief. Does it matter who he's shooting? You like Master Chief. He's awesome.
And I think it's weird. This article, I can kind of see it, and I can't take The Walking Dead for like you said, like Clementine. What if she obviously she's a little girl, doesn't have her parents, and it's like you take on this father type role to protect her. And it's just like, well, what if her parents were with you? Well, what if they were together with her parents? Would you feel obligated to protect her that you would? I mean, that's a part of the plot. Like that's a character. You're going on and going through that. And Borderlands is really awkward too, because I never think of Borderlands as caring about the story either. It was more of guns, 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 guns. That type of thing. I really think it's based on what game you're playing. Narrative matters when it's a narrative type game. Now if they're gonna try to take this, say they're gonna take this article and these numbers and things that they're saying here and saying, well, guess what? We don't have to make as many narrative games or any at all. We'll just build games and make a cool character. Do you find that to be a good thing or a bad thing? So, but
I think it does. I think what you're saying depends on the story, but I think for the majority of games, like these big AAA titles, the plot doesn't matter. I think the characters do. I couldn't tell you much about Halo franchises or the stories, the Uncharted storylines, Red Dead storyline. There's things I can recall from it, but for the most part, a lot of these games that I've played from front to back couldn't tell you much of the story. And in a way, Walking Dead is somewhat similar, but I can recall some of the story there. But yet, that one again is more. It's more on characters. It's you really are with Lee and Clementine and O'Need and and then there's people like you really don't care about, or they were just smaller characters. You can maybe recall their names, but don't remember if you saved him or not, or you're like, oh yeah, I remember he was gone. I didn't care about him. But I still think that it does have a story behind it, but it's all character based, just like the TV show. And I know, Braun, you haven't liked the recent Walking Dead episodes. You seem to be a little bit more negative. Am I correct, right?
Oh yeah. I think this season's really
and I think they've been
hit.
Fantastic, with the exception of when it was Daryl and that girl. The first half was good. I thought the second half was it got really bad. I didn't care for the second half of that, but every week it's just been like a couple of people. It's just been kind of focused on one little, two or three people. And I think they've been some of the best episodes because it's people, it's emotional, it's about the character. It's, I got tired of this prison being attacked. I'm so glad they're out of the prison. We got to get out of here. It's the same thing over and over. Let's get back to the way the story originally was, which made it so great. It was, again, character-driven. This show was, and my wife can't understand why I like it. And I'm like, these people are put into lose-lose situations and decisions they have to make, just
all
like
the
that.
time.
And you're hosed either way. It's never a good decision. So what do? That's what makes it so interesting, so intriguing, so realistic. And again, I guess that story-driven, but what you really remember are the characters. So I kind of agree with their story. I just want to play as Master Chief, or I just want to play as this Titanfall. No, I don't know one person that can tell you what the campaign story is about. Nobody knows. The game's awesome. Everybody loves playing as these certain Titans, as the Ogre or the Strider or the Atlas. No one knows what the storyline's about. No one cares.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's where they're going with. But
Hey,
anyways,
real quick with Walking Dead, what'd you think of last week's episode?
oh my gosh, dude! Oh my gosh, I was like speechless. I mean, it was like, I'm just like, I'm sitting there going, what do you do? I mean, you have to do what she did, and I don't want to say anything. All I'm going to say is, look at the flowers. You have to do what they did. You don't have a choice.
No.
But that was like the hardest thing that I think they have done in that show yet. And I was like, I mean, when it was done, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how. It's like, I don't know how I felt about it. You know, it was one of those
Yeah,
like it
it
left
was.
you like just so confused and mixed and it was awesome. I mean, it's
No,
just like
because
wow.
in the first half, you're sitting there and you're so mad. You're so mad at these characters. Like, what is wrong with you? And
Yeah.
then you switch from that to, oh my gosh, what just happened? No way, that didn't happen.
Mhm.
I was
And
floored, yeah.
it's hard decisions. And that episode really reminded me of what was that one movie and book? It's a book everybody read in high school usually. Of Mice and Men.
Mm.
You guys remember that? The
I didn't read the book,
guys.
but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it
Tell me
really
about the
reminds me of
rabbits,
that.
George.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm. And
Maybe that was a spoiler. I don't know.
I'll hug him.
Well, and
I'll
that-
keep him. I'll
the
call
thing
him
with-
George.
the thing with Walking Dead that Mark's talking about is, to me personally, like that part there. Okay, the parts you guys are talking about is something that actually happened, and I'm not saying that The Walking Dead has to be cranked to 11 every single time,
Yes, it
but I
does.
think, but I think
Yes, it does.
doing 50 minutes of just walking around and then 10 minutes of something happening and obviously developing some backstory on these characters that we don't know.
But there
Or
was
don't-
so much tension in that show. I mean,
Yeah.
even at the beginning, you know, when he was all, "Oh, Carol, you're awesome. I love you. I trust you," and he's talking about how I don't want to be with this big group. I want to be just let's us stay here. I trust you, and it's
Mhm.
like you can see, like she's just like, you shouldn't. Or
Yeah,
I got
exactly,
to
I
say,
know.
we all know the big secret that he doesn't know.
Right.
And it's like, are you
Yeah.
going to tell him? Are you going to tell him? Are you going to tell him? And then you think she's going to, and then she doesn't. And then it just, then these other things happen. And then the way it ended with just between her and him and what happened. And it's just like, it's that intensity and in the drama. It's like, I don't even need the hacking of the heads and the blood and the
Right.
gore. That's not what makes the show. It's that human element.
And I just like when that part came up and you're like, oh, I just looked at my wife. I'm like, she's going to tell him by the end of the story and he's not going to care, or by the end of the show and he's not going to care. And I knew that in the first 5 minutes. And it's just, and the other side of it is I'm actually reading a comic book and I'm actually past this point, and the characters are actually different in the comic book than they are here. But so I kind of know what's happening, and maybe that's why it's a little bit. But to me, I'm just like, they should take this season and shrink it by about 4 episodes and
it's almost
put a
done.
little.
There's only like 2 left.
Oh yeah, there's one left after tonight, but put a little bit more, because to me, all they're doing is the season's semi-finale, whatever you want to call it, the half-season finale, and the final season finale is the only thing where something is actually happening, and the rest of it is just filler. To me, there's just too much filler. But that's
No. Brun, you're wrong.
I
You
just
just don't understand.
I just think walking through the woods is too much filler. Like a lot of the stuff you guys were just talking about, that was all can be summed up in maybe 20 minutes of an hour of all that stuff happening, and then 20 minutes of a previous show where stuff was actually happening and is meaningful. They could be made one show and made it an awesome show, but still explain everything, but just cut out the half hour walking through the woods. That's all I'm saying. So, but all right,
we have to agree
we digress.
to disagree.
We
on
digress.
that.
Yep.
We have to move on, guys. We're coming up
Let's
on
step it up.
our hard break.
Yep.
So let's just get moving. So the next story. Xbox Chief Product Officer Mark Whitten has left Microsoft for a job as Chief Product Officer for Sonos. It's a home audio company. Mark Whitten had been with Microsoft since 2000 and helped launch the original Xbox, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. In the announcement post on Xbox Wire, Whitten said the following: I've had the extreme pleasure of over the last 14 years to work on the greatest product with the greatest team and for the greatest community. Xbox is so special because of the amazing team I've had the opportunity to work with and because our fans are the most incredible fans on the planet. It has been the highlight of my career to work on a product so loved. It's incredibly tough to leave, but I am confident the best days are ahead for Xbox fans in the capable hands of a very talented team. Do you guys think it matters? Do you guys have any concern with the way the leadership change at Microsoft? We've got a guy in there that said that he'd sell off this division. Now you've got the chief product officer gone. Do you
Well,
do you guys have any concern?
my concerns are basically this could be due to two things, and one is okay, the other not so much. So the first is these people came through and they put out an amazing system, the Xbox One. They worked years to get this thing going. They created the ecosystem, they created the hardware and so forth. And now it's out. For some people, that is what they're interested in. That's the rush. And now they're bored. They're looking for something else. If it's that kind of stuff, that's understandable. People need to move on and do what they like. On the negative side, if these people are being pushed out, which very possibly could be what's going on, because we've seen some stuff like that happen in the Windows divisions and so forth. Like when Windows 8 came out, I can't remember the guy's name that was head of it, but basically everybody that was at Microsoft that was largely responsible for Windows 8 is pretty much gone. The whole team's been replaced. They've moved on. For those, I think it was sort of like, hey, Fred, it's time for you to move on. What? Time for me to move on? What do you mean? Move on. Here's careerbuilder.com. Update your LinkedIn profile. And these people just get pushed out. If this is what's happening, if somebody from Microsoft saying, we need to change the direction, we need to change all this stuff, that to me is a little disconcerting. And it leaves the future to uncertainty, versus if these people stick around, then you're like, these people put out an awesome product and the future is looking good, versus question mark.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about as concerned as I was about Sony's Jack Tretton, right? About him leaving. I mean,
Yeah, but he's just one guy. I mean, he was a big important guy, but it was here we're having leadership change at the top, and then all of a sudden the big guy, like I said, it's the guy at the top wanted to get rid of Xbox, and now he's in charge, and now the guy that's in charge of Xbox is gone. He's been there all this time. He's going to do the same job at a home audio company. It's just, unless the money was that much better, I mean, you never know why these
Sonos are
change.
expensive.
Yeah,
they're very
he may have gotten a
expensive,
fat check,
Oh yeah.
but and
Because at some point, no matter how much you love your job, if that pay is so much different, you're gonna go somewhere else. Except now, I just want to let you guys know that if somebody wants to double my salary, even triple it, I'm gonna tell them no and I'm gonna stay with this Xbox life.
Okay.
They can give me 10 times more money. I'm staying, guys.
Wow.
The other thing about the guy at the top, if he wants to get rid of the Xbox division, go for it. Get rid of it. And because in my mind, I don't think Windows and Microsoft Office is selling that much to keep that company afloat to, validate getting rid of the Xbox division. But honestly, when I saw him leaving or whatever, if we want to say he's pushed out, the only reason why I'd say he's pushed out is because he was ahead of the part that completely botched the launch of the Xbox One. So the Xbox One's great. We all love the Xbox and Xbox One, everything. But nobody can go out and say that E3 and the announcements prior to E3 were so fantastic that everybody loved it and they didn't get made fun of for half of a year. So, I mean, and I think the Xbox is selling quite well for the disaster that, in my opinion, that was.
It was a PR disaster.
It
was.
But and even with that, they've had the best launch of the Xbox ever. So,
yeah.
But you bring a good point. Maybe he is being asked to leave because of the PR nightmare. That could be a very, very valid reason. So, cool. Good point.
Almost guarantee it won't happen again.
Well, I think we got a story about that coming up here. About E3. So we'll go on to the next one.
Okay. Last week, Microsoft released a bunch of information on what's to come for the Xbox One. This was posted on Xbox Wire from Yusuf Mehdi. Now, just so you know, he's still with Microsoft for now. We'll see what happens with him going forth. So Yusuf posted again that this has been the most successful launch in history for the Xbox, and this is the third one, so it's the best out of three. And they're really excited, and they love all the support and engagement from the fans. That's all of us, of course. And he went on to write, "You're spending an average of over 5 hours per day on Xbox One. That's amazing." And following the launch of Titanfall, as well as the highly anticipated Twitch broadcasting feature, we've seen you light up Xbox Live even further. Last week, we saw the highest number of hours logged on Xbox Live since the launch of Xbox One. So if you look back, that coincides with Titanfall, of course.
Right.
So now is the time to ensure even more fans around the world can enjoy Xbox One. So today we're proud to share that we'll be available in 26 additional markets in September of 2014. So that would be, I guess, 26 plus 13. Yeah, 13 original, if I recall right. So they'll be in 39 different markets starting September. They'll have more to share at local or in the local level towards the end of April, and stay tuned. I'm not going to list the full list of countries, but yeah, there's a lot in Asia Pacific, in Europe, some Middle East. All over the place.
America.
Yeah, South America, and so forth. So, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for this announcement to come. So, come September, they can have the goodness, Xbox One goodness.
Maybe it'll work by then.
Yeah.
Zing. Moving on.
All right. For those who not a big fans of GameStop, and always want to go in and want to experience the trading in of your games, you can head over to Walmart now, and they are now accepting trade-ins. Now, the one difference between this is when you trade it in, you're not going to get cash or anything like that. It's going to be strictly for Walmart credit. So you're going to kind of be building that, but you can trade in your Xbox One and go get some underwear if you want. Look at the bright side. So, I put a link in the chat while we're here. It's walmart.cexchange.com/online/gaming/ind index.rails. Cheesy cow. But you can go out there and you can type in a game and they'll tell you, what some of the games are going for. Just for example, a working copy of GTA 5 is currently going for $27. Now, while we were doing this, I put in for a Xbox 360 S 250 gig with a controller, with the cables, with the power supply. I can get a whopping $55 for it.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So that's something I'm going to hang on to and not trade it in. But just another option for you guys to do that. You received gift cards usable at Walmart or Sam's Club. So there you go.
All right.
Next,
we got Xbox One's next wave of features announced last month. They've invited select Xbox Live members to preview system updates, which I did get because I didn't opt out. I got to find out how to opt out of this stuff. But they pushed out the new app and the new features. So the new features are supposed to give me the following: game and app saves and updates. So a game save progress bar will show you the status of your game saves. You will also be able to easily tell what games and apps are being updated or have been updated recently. Haven't found where to see that. Friends improvements. Notifications will be added to see when favorites and friends sign in to Xbox Live. This does not work. I have the update, and not once have I ever been notified that somebody has logged in. So don't buy the hype. It doesn't work. And I've gone and checked notifications to see if there's anything in there that they've changed or done, and Everything's checked. There's no new notification for your friend get on. No, that's not anywhere around, so that doesn't work. Blu-ray 50 hertz video output support for content recorded at 50 hertz. Connect to voice and motion improvements. That's a crock because I can't even get my Kinect to turn on anymore with my voice. I've had to go and use the controller now, so that it doesn't work either. Improved game DVR video quality. I have not done any mess with that, but that's supposed to be in there. Upgrades to Xbox One device management to address issues controlling TV set-top boxes and receivers that our customers have reported. Yeah, whatever. And new audio settings to tune how much volume is lowered when Kinect is used in communications. So, yeah, it's a nice list. Too bad I can tell you a couple of them don't work. So, there you go. Maybe it'll actually be working the time they actually push it to everybody.
Maybe.
Next.
Okay. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes came out last week. This is what I kind of consider a $30 demo.
Yep.
That you're going to be buying. There was it's an editor from Eurogamer, which is, I believe, a magazine in addition to the website. Anyway, this guy went through, he skipped all the side missions in the game and completed the game in a whopping 10 minutes. So from start to finish in 10 minutes. Basically, that's $3 a minute for your gaming time. So it's an extreme not value. If you want to go through all the side missions, of course, it goes up to about 2.5 hours or so. It came out on, March 20th in the UK and Japan. It came out on the 18th in the US, and it's going to be out next week in Australia and New Zealand. So it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to spend the $30 for this, because it doesn't seem to be a whole lot of gaming for your money.
All right.
Over to you, Brun.
All right. So for everybody who's not playing Titanfall on the Xbox One and is still stuck on your 360, like myself, if you're anxiously waiting for Titanfall for the 360, unfortunately has been delayed a couple weeks. Instead of the March, I think it was 25th in America and 28th in Europe. Yep. It is now going to be April 8th in North America and April 11th in Europe. So this is to give the developers, who is Bluepoint Games, a little more time to work on the game. Let's see. Patrick, the vice president, Patrick. Yeah, okay. I'm reading through here. The one thing that I wanted to hit on is that they're saying they've been playing the game for a while, and it's fantastic. So they're giving the developer a little bit more time to make it the best Titanfall experience out there for the 360 gamers. So, but delayed a couple weeks. I know that's crappy, but a lot of people, obviously, like we mentioned earlier, probably went out and bought their Xbox Ones just for Titanfall. So,
yeah.
Next.
All right, more Titanfall. Real quick, rumor. This is a rumor at the moment, but Titanfall 2's rights have been secured by EA, so this looks that it will not be a Microsoft exclusive. The EA options to secure the rights was based on the first game's sales performance. So obviously, it sold well enough on the PC and the Xbox One that EA has decided to secure the rights to the game so that it can be on multiple platforms. So, just that's a rumor, so it may not be a Microsoft exclusive in the future. But Titanfall itself will always only be a PC, 360, and an Xbox One release only. So,
Okay.
that's it.
All right. If you've got a little bit of Daredevil in you, you're in luck. If you've been looking to do some kind of skydiving or whatnot, and you've got an aversion to the whole thing, dying thing, then you can fire up your Xbox, because on Xbox Live Arcade For a mere $7, you can get Skydive Proximity Flight. This is a game where you're wearing one of those like flying squirrel suits. I don't know what you would call it.
That sounds
You know what I'm
about
talking
right.
about?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
wingsuit.
A
Yeah,
wingsuit.
wingsuit.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yes,
Okay, I like my name better.
flying squirrel.
That sounds cool. So that's basically what you're doing. You jump off of top of a mountain, and you hope you don't hit something hard, essentially. And yeah, you might want to check it out. I believe this is already out. Yes, it's already out. So yeah, if you really like it, you're probably already loading it by now. It's out on 360, and PS3 is in development. PS3 version.
I don't know if you guys saw the trailer. I'm playing it now. I just don't see how this would be any fun. You're just, I don't know. You're supposed to just stand there and, because I think it has Kinect controls, right? Rob, didn't they say something? Or Did you see anything
Yeah,
about?
yeah. You
Yeah,
can use your
it's-
body to maneuver it.
It just doesn't look like it would be very fun.
I'm kind of a little surprised we're talking about it.
All right, let's move on. The trailer's over.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
It was just interesting. I just thought people might want to know. Hey, here's a new release on the 360.
You know, this is just like probably a fancier version of Flappy Bird.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Okay, Braun, you're up.
All right. Far Cry 4, which I know some people are into the Far Cry series, is going to be set in the Himalayas. And
Cool.
rumor is there's going to be rideable elephants. So maybe you can get your flying squirrel suit, hop on an elephant, and call it a day. Far Cry 4 will be released the first half of 2015 and is set in Himalayas with rideable elephants making an appearance. Okay. Eurogamer, which we mentioned earlier, reports sources have confirmed the new locale, which marks a shift from the sandy tropical location that everybody's used to. They are trying to get the game out before the end of March 2015, and they're expected to reveal more at E3 coming this year. Expected on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, but no word on PS3 or 360. PS3 or 360, yep. Okay.
Alrighty. So next, during a conversation about virtual reality technology at GDC, Microsoft's Game Studios Phil Spencer said, "I think the technology is really interesting, and it's definitely something we've been playing with for quite a while." Spencer doesn't believe that every experience requires goggles, but admitted to the value of being able to completely audibly and visually immerse players. Sony has also revealed its Project Morpheus VR this week as well. And Microsoft, rumors have flowed that Microsoft is considering something similar. So we might see like an Oculus Rift type of unit here coming to Xbox in the future.
Okay. Then Microsoft Phil Spencer of Microsoft, and he's still employed by Microsoft as of this podcast here today. Yeah, we'll see what this week brings. He did a little discussion on what was going to be happening at this year's E3, so that's E3 2014. And in response to a fan who asked if it would be comparable to last year's presentation in terms of game focus, Spencer said, "Yes, I think you'll see very few execs." What does that mean? Very few execs, not exclusives.
Very few executives.
Oh, I got you. People.
People.
In other words, no Don Matrick. And
Exactly.
we're already over our 90-minute time limit and are having to move stuff out of the show. The length would put it on par with last year's presentation, and the indication that it's already getting jam-packed would seem to be a good sign. So looking forward to seeing what they're going to have for us this year.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it for sure. So, all right. So, Titanfall patch. More Titanfall. Sorry, everybody. We have more Titanfall. big news, but and been a balance update and bug fix, and it would have been applied by midday on the 22nd, which was yesterday. So you may go through some of these changes. Do we have time to go through some?
I think a few of them we should we can go for it.
Okay, so for bouncing adjustments and general changes, you have damage indicator from electric smoke is now much more noticeable. Search drones will now show up in classic modes of Angel City. Arc grenade / mine effects no longer draw on friendly pilots and titans. Lowered the point value of defensive actions in hardpoint mode and capture the flag. Increase.
Fooey.
Okay. Increase the score limit and attrition. Flag return points reduced. Flag carrier killed points reduced. Explosive detonated by a dead man's trigger are now slightly delayed and play a warning sound before exploding. Slightly decrease the damage of the smart pistol when not locked onto a pilot, which would be kind of smart, right?
Nope.
Slightly decrease the hip fire accuracy of the smart pistol. Ooh.
So we made the smart pistol dumb. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. hip fire accuracy. Certain burn cards could be exploited to give multiple uses. Evac drop ships are now more responsive to pilots entering them.
Oh gosh, I hope so.
I don't know what that means. You'd have to explain. So what is it like when everybody's in there? It should take off, or what?
It's like it's a pain in the butt to get into the darn things.
Oh, okay.
It's like I just think they've made it's almost impossible to get in. I mean, you got people trying to shoot you, and everybody runs to that point. So it's already hard to get in because everybody knows where the evac ships are dropping in. So the winning team is over there trying to kill everybody or destroy the ship with people on it. But so it's hard enough to get on the thing. But then I've had so many times where I've run and jumped at the thing, and they're like, they don't like land the darn thing. It's like some of them are a pain to get to begin with. Like, okay,
Gotcha.
How do I get to the top of that building over there to get, so I can be on the roof to get into the ship? Some are high enough up that, like, you got to jump and then, like, do a double jump just right to get in it. And if you overshoot the darn thing or you land on the top of it, then you just fall right through it. Yeah, it's a pain. I most of the time don't even try to go for the evac ships because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So
actually, I've seen some cool videos of people calling in their Titans and dropping right through the ship and blowing it up, which is kind of cool. Hacking a mega turret will now restore its health to full.
That's cool.
Cluster missiles damage reduced against evac dropships.
Stupid.
Bug fixes. Titan could become stuck in the position he lands in. Auto Titan wouldn't stand up until you embarked into it. Several rare server issues restarting the game into the lobby. Pilot could end up out of bounds while
rodeoing
a Titan as it is destroyed. Pilot could warp through certain locations when jumping off a Titan. Rodeoing. Oh my gosh. A Titan that has been doomed by your SMR could kill you. I don't know what that means, but okay.
When you're rodeoing a Titan, that means you're a pilot. So you jump up onto the Titan,
and you're riding him.
You're riding him, and you're shooting it. You got to rip open this panel, and you start shooting at it, and you can destroy it. The SMR, if that's your weapon, if you doomed him, destroyed the enemy Titan with that particular weapon, you could end up being killed, which it shouldn't be. It should just eject you off the thing after he explodes.
Now, is the SMR like a rocket launcher?
I do.
Or is that a... Okay. Because I remember when I was playing the beta on PC, I had like the rocket launcher, and I shot the thing, and it killed me. And I was like, whoops, maybe I should have switched to a smaller gun.
Yeah, that's the Sidewinder.
Yeah. Players being able to enter some geometry in Smuggler's Grove. Titanfall will now give proper kill credit when it kills a pilot embarking into their Titan. Minions and attrition now continue to spawn until the epilogue begins. Cool. Player couldn't hack a mega turret console. Server would sometimes error when leeching a Spectre. Okay. Hardpoint sometimes awarded defense score to players not near the hardpoint. Rare issue when ejecting from a Titan. Server would sometimes error after a match while returning to the lobby. And finally, double XP burn card sometimes not being applied properly, which I remember you talking about that something last week.
Well, I hope
So.
this rare issue when ejecting from a Titan.
Mhm.
Right now, like if you get the eject and they come up and they rip the Titan's arms off, you can't eject out, which makes no sense because your arms are grabbing the thing and punching out while they're ripping the Titan.
Right.
And everybody else has seen this, and it's frustrating. You can't eject. You're mashing the button. You cannot eject if they start to rip the arms off your Titan. So hopefully that's not rare, if that's what they're talking about.
Right.
I don't know if that's meant to be, but it's stupid. They need to fix it. So, but there's some good fixes there.
All right.
So,
Next.
all right, Rob, you're up. We're
What?
skipping one. You're up. We're
Oh,
skipping one.
okay.
We're running out of time, buddy.
All right, no problem. Okay, Project Spark. It was that create a game type of system,
Mhm.
kind not crowdsourced, but everybody gets to work on it in some form or another. This was in beta for a little while now. You needed a beta key to enter in on their website to get into it. They've finally opened it up, so Team Dakota has opened it up. Anybody can get in on this now. If you've got an Xbox One, for example, just go in and search for Project Spark and install away. So if you're interested in that thing and you haven't tried it yet, now you can.
Yeah, I put like 5 beta keys on a couple weeks ago on the Facebook group, and I don't think anybody snagged them. So, but open beta now. So,
Yes.
all right. Finally, it looks like I got the final one here. The Curse of Brotherhood, which you guys have both played, and I remember you guys
Amazing
talking
game.
about it and loving it. Actually,
Amazing.
I might have to pick this one up now.
Definitely.
Is coming to the 360 on April 9th. So that's pretty much it. It's going to be available April 9th for $14.99.
Everybody needs
So.
to buy that game.
Oh
If you
yeah.
don't have an Xbox One, get this on 360. It's fantastic.
Okay. That was the good news.
Skip what's it called? Skip that Metal Gear game and just get this. Save yourself money for half the price. It's a lot more gameplay.
Yeah. All right. We're going to need to move it on here. I'm going to push, guys, because we're coming up on our hard break. So join our community. Look for us on Facebook. Just search for This Xbox Life. You can email us, contact@thisxboxlife.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. Also, we do have a voicemail. You can go to our website, click the send us a voicemail message, and listen to a message. And with that, where is it? I'm going to quickly play this week's message. And while I do play the message, I'm actually going to show, again, we have a contest, our giveaway. So by you guys buying from Amazon, using our affiliate link there, we give away gift cards. So I'm going to show the image of the next game, and this is our last week for a $10 gift card. And so let me play the phone call from Sergeant Stiffy. Here we go.
Hey guys, Sergeant Stiffy here. I know it's been a long time since I've emailed the show or contacted you, but since you've added this new voice message feature, I decided I'll drop you a voice message. I'm playing the Walking Dead series at the moment and I'm really enjoying it, but I'm finding if I don't finish an episode all the way through, if I play it for like 40 minutes, stop playing it, and then go back to play it the next day, I have to start all over again from the start of the episode. I'm just wondering if you guys or anyone else in the community has had that issue, because I'm finding it quite annoying. Because I'm in college, studying photography and stuff like that, I don't get much time to play video games. I only get to play with maybe 4 or 5 hours a week. And I'm just wondering if anyone else experienced that. I just want to say as well, keep up the good work, and I'm delighted that you sorted out the audio issues as well. And I enjoy listening to your podcast on my long walks or cycles. So, peace out.
All right. Thanks, Sergeant Stiffy. Appreciate the call in. So we talked earlier about Walking Dead, how people were not finishing it. I don't know if you guys heard his. You probably didn't because of the delay. But he said, he has an issue when he starts to play the game from the beginning. If he doesn't finish it all in one episode, he stops and walks away. When he comes back, it's like it doesn't have a save for him. It's like he's got to continue from the start. So that's been a frustration for him. Rob, did you always sit and play him all the way through, or did you have to stop and come back to him later?
No, I've come back to him. I've never had this issue with neither The Wolf Among Us or Walking Dead.
Did you resume right where you're at, or did you always get after you popped an achievement and completed like a section? Would that be when you quit, or did you ever have to walk away right in the middle of it?
Wow. I really don't remember. I want to say that for the most part, I probably left my machine on. However, I do know that I would go back into it maybe the next day or something. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't let you resume right where you left off. I do remember having to redo something, but it's definitely doesn't take you to the beginning of the episode. Is that what he was saying?
That's what I understood.
Yeah, that's really odd. I wonder if it has something to do with where he saves his games. You know what I'm saying? If it's to the cloud or local or whatnot.
Yeah, I would say, Sergeant, just try to get to maybe wait until after you popped an achievement. And you can get one, probably every 20 minutes in the game. And then maybe save it. I don't know, maybe he's not saving, or maybe it... Yeah, just make sure you're saving. It's been a while since I've played that, so I'm not really sure how it works. But I've always just sat down and played the thing all the way through.
Yeah.
It's like 2 to 3 hours, and I always just sit down when I've got that kind of time. So.
And sometimes it's really hard to put it down too. You can't stop.
So, but no, we have not seen that. So, I would say double check, make sure that you got your save, that it is actually saving. Hopefully your hard drive's not too full.
Yeah,
but it should error out on them, I would think, if that was the case.
Yeah,
so.
I agreed.
All right.
Okay, well, then for this week's retail releases, we have on the Xbox 360, Cabela's Big Game Hunter Pro Hunts, and for Xbox One, we have nothing. So kind of a light week again. And that's it for the retail releases.
So where can one buy Cabela's Big Game Hunter Pro Hunts?
You can definitely check out Amazon and get it from there. And please remember to use our Amazon affiliate link, www.thisxboxlife.com/Amazon, or just go to our website and click on the link at the top right. That helps the show out. We get a tiny little credit for your purchase. No change in your purchase cost or anything like that. It just helps out the show, and we use it. We turn around. We use everything we get back. We give it back to the community.
All right. And with that wraps up our show. If you guys listen to us on iTunes, please rate us 5 stars. You guys got any last minute comments?
Nope. See everybody next week.
All right. With that, I'm Mark, a.k.a. Wingman709, taking off.
This is Rob, also known as Presar. Catch y'all later. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep. And Brun, BJ, Swick 33. Have a good one.